Hello everyone and welcome back to Witchinary. If you have yet to subscribe to this channel, then please do so because I'm trying to get you in the Yuletide spirit all month long. And today I wanted to bring to you some really quick and easy ephemera cards using the Crepe Paper Merry Days collection. Really quick and funny story about how I ended up with these. I ordered the sticker pack off of Simon Says Stamp. I thought it was really pretty and whimsical, and then I went to my local paper source because I kind of needed a paper pad to go along with the sticker pad. And I saw this paper pad and I was like, oh my god, look at it, it's so pretty. So I bought it, and then I realized when I brought it home that it was the coordinating paper pad to the sticker pad, and I was just like, why am I like this? I thought these cards would be perfect as money envelopes or as thank you cards for, you know, all of the presents that you got during the holiday season and you wanted to send some quick joy on over to, you know, the people who gave you that. So these cards are all on panels made from, or card bases made from mint cardstock from Simon Says Stamp, as well as Rouge paper from Paper Presentation, which can be swapped out for lipstick red paper from Simon Says Stamp and some Neenah white solar cardstock. So in case you're wondering, all of my cards originally measured around 3 by 7/8 and 8.5 inches. However, because I realized that some of my bases were too big, I did end up trimming some of them. As far as the paper pad itself, it's 6 by 8 inches, so it was perfect for these long cards. For my first card, I really wanted to work on this winter floral paper, and then I realized that I had adhered my paper down too soon, and I really wanted to add some lawn fawn mistletoe cord, so I had to kind of like adjust the stickiness and then go ahead and make a bow. From the sticker pack, I take the 25 really shimmery shiny stickers, and off camera I do raise those up on foam squares. I then take a strip of Neenah Solar White cardstock and I adhere holiday wishes onto it, and I also go ahead and I take another sticker that says a very Merry Christmas and I adhere that to the top. And that finished off my first card. For my next card, I really wanted to work on the Solar White cardstock. However, I do change my mind later and I swap it out for some Rouge paper. And this is around the time when you guys are going to start seeing me adjust the cropping of my card bases so they can actually match my actual panels. So my actual measurements for my cards are a little bit iffy. Don't trust the narrator. I go ahead and I take Santa's sleigh from my sticker pack and I start using my thermal web tape runner because this was around the time that I realized that these stickers were not adhering down to my panel. So to, you know, remedy that, I just took my tape runner and I just ran it across the stickers to make it a little bit more adhesive. Off camera, I do take some foam squares and I prop up my Santa just so he can give me a little bit of dimension. I think it's very important when you're working with ephemera inspired cards where everything is just paper and stickers or cutouts and paper. To kind of add a little bit more interest to your cards, it's kind of important to like add a little bit of dimension or cords or ribbon or some type of interest to kind of elevate your card from this is just basic paper to like, oh my god, look at what they did. I go ahead and I make a bow using some mistletoe cord, and then I go ahead and I raise up my card with some Scotch foam tape. My only regret with this card is that I did not actually secure my ribbon with some tape or something, which ended up making my ribbon very, very loose, and it was very hard for me to kind of come to terms with that while I was placing it down. So I'm sorry to whoever gets this card. Anyway, once I was done adjusting the length of my little bow, that finished off this card. For my next card, I really wanted to work with this awesome wintry paper. It just kind of has everything that you just love about the holidays. Ice skating, being warm, bringing a tree home, like all those cute little activities were all in one paper, and I just really, really loved it. So I go ahead and I take a strip of that Rouge paper presentation paper and I adhere season on top of it. And of course, I kind of go over it again later with my tape runner. At the time, I really wanted to use that Mary. I wanted to give this card a little bit of you know, razzle dazzle, a little bit of va va voom. So I was trying to figure out how I was going to place that on there. Before then, I just take season of and, you know, just adhere my stickers down to this. I've been very much obsessed with like this red strip and calligraphy or words on top of like red, I don't know, backgrounds lately, and my Instagram has been kind of full of them lately. So I kind of wanted to bring a little bit of my Instagram aesthetic into this card. So that was kind of like what I was heading or going for. Here's when I actually bring out my foam squares and I start raising up a bunch of my panels. So here is that. I do like how this looks, and because of the little dimension that I got from the season of, I thought that that was good enough for me to go ahead and adhere this down directly to my card base, but not before I actually run my tape runner over the Mary, because, you know, we can't have anything sliding off when, you know, people get it. So after I adhere this down, I for whatever reason wasn't satisfied with this card. I felt like it could still use a little bit of a winter touch. So I go ahead and I bring out my Oyster Gray Nuvo drops and I add a little snowdrops over everything, because why not? You know, it's a winter inspired card. And Ashley Tucker, if you're watching this, this would have been your card, but I kind of haven't sent it out and I doubt it's going to get there in time for your mail call, so I'm hoping to participate in your next one. So yeah, this wraps up this card. For my next card, I really wanted to do this Jingle All the Way paper. It looked so simple in black and white, and I really wasn't sure how I was going to use it, and I kept having issues with how I was going to adhere it, and then I had issues with how much color it didn't have. So I used a lot of the little stars that came in the sticker pack to give it some color, and then to give it some added color, I took the little ornaments that came in the sticker pack and I put my Lawn Fawn twine inside of it just so I can make it look like, you know, it's a dangling ornament. And this time I wasn't going to make the same mistake I made before. This time I was actually going to tape down my actual string so it's nice and taut. And I'm also going to do this with another ornament that was in the sticker pack. I don't know, I did end up really liking this card, but at the time I was just like, I don't know how much I like this, but we're gonna make it work. So that's kind of what I just ended up doing. I go ahead and I make a little knot for my other one, and then after I was done with that, I adhere this down to my mint card base, and I go ahead and I start, you know, looking for all those little stars that were going to give me a little bit of added color. And after I was done with that, that finished off this card. For my next card, I wasn't sure what I was going for. I was starting to get a little bit bored of my cards per se, so I just kind of started losing steam. So this card ends up being very, very simple. All I do is take my little Santa that says believe, and then use the same mint cardstock that I'm adhering this panel to just use a strip that says the magic of Christmas. So it's just believe the magic of Christmas. And then at the top I just put a little thing that kind of looks like a tab, but it doesn't actually, you know, have a gift card or anything. And I adhere that down to my card base, and that finished off this card. Very, very easy, very quick and easy, simple. For my next card, I was like, okay, we're really losing steam here. Like, how many times can I probably do this? So by this time, I had already taken out my Doodlebug gold little embellishments, and I was just kind of like, you know what, I'm gonna add a couple of these to my previous cards. So in the pictures, if you paid attention, you probably saw a couple of these everywhere. So yeah, I just kind of wanted to add a little bit something different. I raised up my little snow globe, and then I wanted to tie in the red of Santa's hats down in some way. So I brought out another strip that I had of my Rouge paper presentation paper. I have so many of these little strips, and they come in handy for like heat embossing sentiments or for like sticker packs like this. So I'm really happy I have them. I raise my sentiments up, and these say Holly Jolly Joy. and I put them so they're kind of symmetrical in the center. And then I kind of wanted to add a little bit of interest with something else because everything was starting to look a little bit too cute. So I took this little pine and I adhered just a little bow that I saw in the sticker pack to it to kind of like layer up my stickers and give my stickers a little bit more interest. And then I just go ahead and adhere this down to a piece of mint cardstock, and that finished off this card. For this card, I don't know why I didn't think about doing this card before, because this is actually my favorite card. It reminds me of Bryant Park, and like around the holidays when you get to go out and, you know, do the ice skating thing by Rockefeller Center. So I was really into this card. I took a little skater and I just raised her up with some foam tape, and I ended up raising up a sentiment that says "It's a Wonderful Life" with a little bit of holly. I think this is holly at the top, which I adhered directly and then secured with some foam squares. And then I just adhered this down directly onto my card, and that finished off this card. Really quick and easy, but I love it. For my last couple of cards, I was actually exhausted of just like adhering paper together. By now, I was, don't want to say I was losing steam, but it had been a while since I had actually made a bunch of cards, and I think it's important sometimes for people who do YouTube and make cards to step away from YouTube and kind of like recollect themselves and really gain their steam back, because self-care is super important, and a lot of people forget that a lot of your creativity comes from a well-rested mind that can think in abstract ways. So this was around the time that I had, you know, finished off, you know, my holiday party and stuff. So I just kind of wanted to get back into my card making habits. So I just sat down and I busted out a bunch of these cards. And it's nothing more frustrating when you're in that groove of doing things and suddenly you start feeling stale in your own creative juices. So that's kind of what inspired me to just start layering papers together and make these kind of like layered cards with a bunch of paper on it that would kind of like, you know, combine two different aesthetics of two different cards. And that's kind of what I was going for. I layered up some presents in one, and I adhered them down to that really pretty floral paper from before, and I started bringing out my doodle bug papers, or not papers, but embellishments, and I was just like, yes, queen, work, come back to doing YouTube and like get it done, make some cards, you'll feel better. And man, was this cathartic. I don't know, just a quick 2 cents of like how I feel sometimes and kind of why I disappear from YouTube. So yeah, I do go ahead and I raise up these little center folds with some Scotch foam tape, and I did put a bow in one just because I wanted to add a little bit of embellishments. I raise up my stockings for one, I raised up the wreath in the other, and I just kind of wanted to do this very simple but layered look for these cards, and I love how they turned out. For this card that I'm working on currently, on the side, I go ahead and I adhere the letters that spell out jolly. And once I was done with that, I was ready to adhere these down to my card bases after I add a little bit of layering to one of my stockings, because again, why not add that extra interest, you know? So yeah. Once I was done with these cards, I just go ahead and I raise them up on my card bases, and that finished off 2 cards with 1 stone. And after this, I felt so good. Oh, it was so nice to just get back in the swing of things. So now, let's recap on everything that I've made, but I also wanted to decorate the insides of these cards. So, I go ahead and I use the stickers that I had left over to kind of like start decorating the insides of everything. And I do want to show you what that looks like, but if I don't, I'm sorry. But yeah, no, so I finished off these cards, and yeah, then I show you what I did on the inside. I did have a lot of extra stickers. This ephemera pack came with a ton of them, so I just kind of like took a couple of stickers and started adhering them to the insides of my cards so they wouldn't look so plain and dull. I did love these cards. I love how they came out. I'm really happy that I kind of just got my creativity out. Like I said, these cards are perfect for money, envelopes, or just so, you know, you can say thank you to your friends and your family for all the gifts that they got you. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching all of this. Oh, really quick, I did add jingle, like the gold jingle, to that card, just to give it a little bit of interest, because it did look too plain even for me. So yeah, anyway, but yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this. I really appreciate it, and I hope to bring you guys another video that I could not post during my vacation because your girl didn't have Wi-Fi. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great day.